Morning, afternoon, evening. This is the One Man Militia, and I'm here to discuss the 45 series Smith& Wesson third generation, and also discuss a little bit about the 45 ACP. The 45 ACP was invented by none other than John Moses Browning in 1904. It has been used by the United States from World War One all the way up until present day. It is a 230 grain cartridge, which travels about 400, I'm sorry, it travels about 830 feet per second, coming out of a 1911 with the 5-inch barrel, or the 4506, which is the first gun that I will feature. Um, Also, this same cartridge here will travel about 950 feet per second if it's shot out of a um, Thompson. The Thompson MA1 submachine gun. Typically with the Thompson, they do have the stick magazines. They also have 50 round drums and 100 round drums. With the 1911s and with the 4506, they typically have 8 round magazines. This is one of the magazines that come out of my 4506. I do have it loaded with live rounds. However, the firearm is empty. We will safety check each and every firearm. These firearms were pulled straight out of the collection um, from my display, and I do have my displays ready, locked, and loaded in the event um, that I have to defend myself. Um, Keeping that in mind, um, the Thompson MA1 submachine gun does have a 10.5-inch barrel, which means that with the extra 5 inches, you do gain about 120 feet per second velocity. Now, the first firearm that I am featuring here is the 4506. You can see right there. We'll go ahead and do a safety check on it. As you can see right through it, there's no magazine because the magazine is right here. And this firearm, it is empty in the chamber. 4506 is notably known as the firearm for Denzel Washington's main character in the movie Training Day. Um, this particular firearm, it is the 5-inch barrel. It does have a stainless steel frame to it. It is a single stack, and as you can see, one of my most common modifications, I did add a rubber hose hand grip on the firearm, which does help tremendously with the recoil. Previously, it did have the black plastic wraparound curved or straight. I think it was the curved one though. Back strap handle here. This particular firearm was manufactured between the years of 1988 to 1991. My next firearm, well, my next two are compacts. Um, we're going to go ahead and take the magazine out. This one here is a 6 round magazine. Like I say, it does have live rounds. However, we will safety check this firearm. Let's see here, as we can see right through it. And there's nothing in the chamber here. This particular firearm is the 4513 TSW model. Basically, this is the, oh, it looks like it's the 3.5 inch barrel. It is a compact version. It is aluminum alloy and it is TSW, notably the black trigger here. And I did keep the original um, plastic hand grip, one piece hand grip wrap around. It does have a um, like a hammer where you can cock it back or whatever. And my next firearm here I will feature. We're going to drop the magazine, and it does come with a 7 round magazine here. If you can see here, it's kind of hard to see, but this is a 7 round, and this is my 6 round that came out of the 4513. As you can see, the noticeable difference in the magazines here. This particular model, this is a 4516. And we'll go ahead and we'll do a safety check. We can see right through it. No magazine and nothing in the chamber. This 4516 is a similar version of the 4513. However, the 4516 is steel frame. It does have the 3.5 inch barrel. It is a compact size 45. And what I like about it, that it has the bobbed hammer here. So it does make a little bit better concealed carry, so you don't have this hammer snagging on your shirt or anything like that. As you can see, it was replaced. The hand grip was replaced with a Hogue rubber hand grip. I believe the previous owner replaced this one though. It does make a great concealed carry. I've only carried it a couple of times though. Keeping in a numerical order, our next one is a 4526. We're going to drop the magazine here, and this is an 8 round magazine, so it's the full size. We're going to do a safety check here. And this particular model here, let's see, nothing in the magazine well, nothing in the chamber. This particular model has the decocker on the frame. This little deal right here. It's the same, it's similar to the 4506. As you can see, this is still no magazine in here, still an unloaded firearm. But this particular model here, um, we don't have the decocker here because the decocker is on the frame. This is a steel version here. It's kind of a rare one. Um, but basically the 4526. I still have the original um, plastic hand grip on this firearm because, um, as I mentioned earlier, with the 40 calibers, when you get the decocker on the frame here, it kind of disqualifies you from putting a whole rubber hand grip on these firearms. So I'm pretty much stuck with the plastic ones until I could figure something out. But so far, I haven't really taken the effort to try to figure out how to exchange the hand grip there. And just like with the 40 calibers, these two magazines are the same or very similar. So these two magazines can fit in the 4506 or the 4526. And also um, one of my other guns as well that's full size. Our next firearm here is a 4563. The 4563 does have a 8 round magazine. And like I say, I am pulling these firearms right out the collection, so they are um, loaded magazines here. It is a full size, just like the other ones. So basically, these three magazines are interchangeable with the three guns here so far. We're going to do a safety check here. Nothing in the magazine well, nothing in the chamber. This is a tactical Smith & Wesson 4563. It does feel a little bit lighter because it is an aluminum alloy frame. It is a mid-size model. It does have a 4.5-inch barrel. It does feature a rail system, which I did add an O-light on it here. Um, and I did add the rubber hose hand grip. As you can see, it's one of my um, more popular modifications, which does help to reduce the recoil. With it being a TSW model, the um, this part is this little locking slide deal is black and trigger is black as well. The decocker here is black as well, and it does have the TSW. It's considered mid-size. My next firearm here is another mid-size. We're going to drop the magazine, and as you can see, it is an 8-round magazine. So now we came across 1, 2, 3, and 4 magazines that that are eight that are 8 rounds. So basically, I have 4 magazines which are interchangeable with the last 4 firearms. We're going to go ahead and do a safety check. Nothing in the magazine well, and nothing in the chamber here. This particular model is a 4566. This is the regular Smith & Wesson version. It is a mid-size 4.5-inch barrel. As you might have noticed here, it is a little bit shinier. I believe the previous owner did do a little polish job on it. And so far, the polish has been holding up pretty well on it. It does have the rubber hose hand grip, which I did add on as well. As you can see, I probably spent a small fortune on Hogue rubber hand grips. But it does have the exposed hammer here. It does have the decocker. This is the regular 4566. It is a mid-size firearm or mid-size frame size. And then next, I do have a 4566 TSW. We still have another 8-round magazine here, and it's kind of hard to see the number 8. There we go. Had to hold it at an angle. So now we have 5 magazines, which are interchangeable with the last 5 firearms that I have featured here. This is the TSW model. Let's see, I can't remember if I did a safety check, but you can never be too safe. Nothing in the magazine well, and nothing in the chamber here. Basically, this is the tactical Smith & Wesson version of the 4566. As you can see by these two, you have the black trigger, you have the black slide and lock here, you have the black decocker. It does have an exposed hammer, but both exposed hammers are black as well. This one does feature another rail system here for the O-light, or for any flashlight you want to mount. I just choose O-light. They are affordable. They are rechargeable. And to me, when you add them onto the firearm, it kind of makes it look like it came with the firearm. That's why I like the little mini Valkyrie 600 lumens here. And it does have the tactical Smith& Wesson written on the side of the firearm here. This is considered mid-size as well. The only difference between these mid-size and the, I guess, full size, the only difference really is it's just the, I mean, the hand grip is, well, the handle part or the magazine part is about the same. This one just has the plastic hand grip. This has the whole rubber hand grip. That's why it seems to be um, a little bit fatter. It does give you a fuller grip as well as offsetting recoil. The only difference really in these models is just the barrel lengths. The mid-size is about a half an inch shorter than the full size. And mid-size do make a decent concealed carry if you want a little bit more capacity and a little bit more velocity. You know, considering that the 45 ACP is kind of slow and fat. Um, However, if you really want to carry a full size, you know, more power to you. If you can get by with it, you're going to get the same capacity as the mid-size, and you're going to get a little bit more. You're going to get your full 830 feet per second velocity. Lastly, of my collection here, we have the 4586. And as you can see, it does have an 8-round magazine. And so basically, we 6 for 6, 6 full, excuse me. But basically, sorry to start it here. It's getting kind of crowded with all these firearms and magazines. Basically, we have 6 full-size magazines that are interchangeable out of the last 6 firearms, which I have featured here. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna do a safety check real quick here. As you can see, nothing in the magazine well, and there's nothing in the chamber. This is the regular model 4586, stainless steel frame. It is mid-size, 4.5-inch barrel. Does have the bobbed hammer. This is the double action only, so there is no decocker. So you got that really long trigger pull um, every time when you have to fire it. I don't mind carrying double action only firearms as concealed carry. As a matter of fact, a lot of law enforcement jurisdiction choose to carry the double action only because there is no accidental trigger pull with these. When you pull it, you mean to pull it because you mean to defend yourself. Now, on the 4506 model, which is the first one that I featured here, some of the later models, this is one of the earlier models because it has the round trigger guard, but some of the later models had a square trigger guard, and I'm glad to have one I can show you the difference. This is my 4563, and as you can see, the trigger guard is squared some here. So this is possibly a later model 4526 versus this one being rounded here. This is an earlier model 4506. As I told you, the 4516, let me get these magazines out the way here without toppling over the computer. I like the 4516 here. We're going to do another quick safety check. Never can be too safe. Like I said before, this is the compact steel frame version here. Now there is a 4546. 4546 is a double action only with a round stubby hammer. And it was made in 1992 only. Unfortunately, I don't have it because it's a very rare model. It was only made for 1 year. I did show you the 4563. Let's see, 4563. quick safety check because you can never be too safe. We do own a lot of firearms. There's room for a lot of error, a lot of mistakes. So to prevent fatal mistakes, we do plenty of safety checks with these firearms. 4563 recap is a mid-size version, 4.5-inch barrel. This is a TSW model, so it has the rail system. It does have aluminum alloy frame. The 4566, which I do have right here, safety check, and nothing in the chamber here. This is the mid-size version, 4.5-inch barrel steel frame. And this is the TSW model of the same 4566. Safety check as well. And nothing in the chamber here. If I failed to mention here, this 4566 is the steel version, and it is the exact version of the 4563. This is the aluminum version. And as I am presently holding both of these firearms up, this one does feel a little bit lighter than this one. On 4566, the West Virginia State Police and also New Hampshire State Police did use the double action only TSW models of these. And on the West Virginia model, unfortunately, this is not it. I did see one on Gun Brokers back during COVID, but it sold too quickly before I had a time to react to it because I happened to see it at work. But on the left side of the frame here, where you have Smith and Wesson at, the West Virginia police model, it had the West Virginia State Police shoulder patch etched in here, along with Smith and Wesson etched next to it. And kind of a rule of thumb when I do conceal carry my firearms, I like to carry 2 magazines. So, for example, if I was carrying this 4563, I would have 1 magazine, loaded, 1 in the chamber, and I would have 2 fully loaded magazines with me. And I guess I was kind of on par because also West Virginia State Police, they carry 2 spare magazines, but they have a total of 24, so they must have some extendos or something. But basically, they do have 2 spare magazines as well. Unfortunately, there is another model. Some of these models I don't have. There's a 4567, which is a mid-size frame, 4.5-inch barrel, kind of give you an idea. Something along the size of this. We're going to do a safety check again. Never can be too safe. But something along the size of this, except it does have the decocker, not the double action only business here. And the 4567 is a blue carbon steel version. Only 1,236 copies were made back in 1992. It's a 1-year model only, very, very rare. The 4505, which is an odd number, is a blue carbon steel version of the 4506. So basically, we're going to do a third safety check here. The 4506, if you want to get this model, but you want the carbon blue version, then the 4505 is it. 5-inch barrel. It's also more rare or rarer, however you want to call it, because only 1,200 copies were produced back in 1992. Seems like 1992 was the magic year. The 4586, which is this one on the end here. This is probably the 4th safety check on this one, but like I say, you can never be too safe. The more firearms you have, the more reasons you have to be safe with all of them. Double action only model. It is a steel frame. Does have the safety. It has a partial present hammer, right here, but it doesn't have an external safety decocker. This particular model, I forgot to mention earlier, it was used by the Idaho State Police. Um, this was their official firearm between the years of 1992 and 2002. And that concludes the 45 series Smith& Wesson. Please like and subscribe. I do appreciate your comments. Thank you for your time. Um, and that is pretty much it. The one man militia is out. Thank you again.